Hello everyone, welcome to Scorcher Toys at AnyMoon.com's review of the Yetistand Alpha as available on Yetistand.com. This display stand comes in two flavors for the base, one with slots for 5mm pegs, the other without those slots. I'll show you why you might want them a little bit later in this review. The basic design of the display stand, if you got kind of a no frills option, I'll also get into kind of what frills are available later, is a pivot point at the base, a pivot point middle of the arm, and a pivot point at the top where an adapter would connect. So there you go. I've got them all loose right now so I can kind of show you the motion that is available. You are going to want to have an Allen wrench handy and a set of pliers. That will help you speed through the assembly. It comes unassembled, and also adjustments you're going to make. So you're going to crank these tight once you get them into the position you want them to, and then attach whatever toy you're going to want to attach. And there are a wide range of adapters available on the website for you to choose from. The adapter I have on here right now is the Bandai DX adapter. So this adapter would then connect to the adapters included with Bandai DX toys. So you only need one piece from Yetistand, and then you can use those pieces that already come with the Bandai DX Macross toys. And this isn't specific to Macross. There's Transformers adapters and Lego adapters too. So and this should appeal to a wide variety of collectors. Alright, so I've configured the display stand for sort of a middle height, and I've tightened everything up so it's ready to use. I mentioned earlier that the Bandai DX adapter that's available on the Yetistand works with the included display stand adapters that come with Bandai DX toys. So this is a YF29 adapter, and it would fit without any real issues right on top of this Yetistand. So that is certainly one option. Here is, as contrast, the Bandai display stand in fighter mode configuration. So I would just take this and put it on there like so. So Yeti also offers, in a few instances, their own display stand adapters. These are 3D printed, as is this piece. And while I'm on that subject, you might need to sand these pieces a little bit since they are 3D printed, just to make them a little smoother and make things fit on there a little better. This YF29 adapter, as you can see, is far less clunky than the original Bandai offering, and it doesn't extend forward, so it has less of a visual footprint than you would see using the Bandai adapter. So here is a Bandai YF29 toy. Here is a Yetistand YF29 adapter. Just gonna, let's put it on like this. And there you go. I have my YF29 on my Yetistand, and that is in contrast to a YF29 going on the Bandai display stand, which would look something like that. So you can see, obviously, a much sleeker display stand on the left, a lot more options, so I can pivot this in 3 different places, and all I can do really is just use that display stand exactly as it is. So as a base stand, the Yetistand is already an improvement over the display stands that come packaged with several toys. But where things really get exciting is when you start accessorizing with your Yetistand. Here I have the knuckle that is sold on the Yetistand website, and one of the extension arms. And what this allows me to do is take those YF29 toys you saw earlier and put them on one display stand. So there is Rod, here comes Isamu, and now I'm using one display stand for 2 vehicles, which, as far as a value proposition goes, obviously is huge. Okay, you might be thinking that 2 toys on one display stand is a little ambitious given the space that you have, and Yetistand has a solution for that. What I have in front of you is the base display stand with the original arms, and then the knuckle attached to the bottom original arm and the extension arm. And now I have a second YF29 toy, and I forgot to mention earlier that the YF29 adapter that Yetistand sells fits on so sturdy that you can actually flip the toy over and lift it by just the display stand. Now I'm not going to be doing that here. I'm going to take my YF29 and put it right on top. And as you can see, you now have two YF29 toys on one display stand using just a little bit more space than we had with just the one. Up until this point, I've been showing you the more traditional display stand, like this, that fits on the front of a display stand arm and would let you pivot the nose of the vehicle up or down, and obviously the backside doing the opposite. Yetistand also sells a display stand adapter that fits on the side of the arm, which then lets you pivot left and right to get banking poses. There is another banking option for you, and that is this elbow piece. It's a 90-degree angle made of acrylic, also an optional piece, so you'd have to buy it separately. You can use that, and that provides you your banking, and then you could use the standard vertical adapter. And so now you would have both a banking axis and a vertical axis, and that would allow you to do something like this. We're going to have the toy look like it's taking off at an angle, like so. So multiple axis banking is an option. So far I've focused on fighter mode, but of course the Yetistand also works on Gearwalk and Batroid modes. Here I've got two YF29s attached to one Yetistand using the extension arm and the knuckle. I've also got that elbow joint here to get multi-axis pivoting for the RB Custom. Here I've got the standard banking adapter. For Gearwalk mode, the YF29 adapter that Yetistand sells separately does not work. It's only meant for fighter mode, so you would be using the stock Gearwalk adapter for the Bandai DX display stand with your Yetistand here. So far you've seen Bandai DX YF29 toys in various modes, in various Yetistand setups. This is a couple of different toys in Batroid mode. This is the Bandai VF19 Advance, still using the DX adapter that Yetistand sells, as well as the Batroid adapter that comes with the toy. Over here we have an Arcadia YF19. There's the Yamato Arcadia adapter on the toy, and again that's connected to a Batroid mode adapter that comes with that toy, meant for Yamato's display stands. So very good deal there. When using the dual arm option, you're going to have to remember to balance things, use some common sense. But obviously if I had two extension arms here, I could actually have a couple of different toys facing off against each other. So you could really have a lot of fun playing with your display stand options and your toys. I mentioned at the onset of the review that the Yetistand is available with one of two base plates, either a standard base plate, which is a little cheaper, or a second base plate that includes 5mm slots at every corner. Those 5mm slots allow you to connect other little arms, such as the ones that Bandai sells with their little stage act display stands. They also come in handy with things like the Bandai VF19 Advance. This pose, by the way, I completely stole from a photo that is up on Yetistand. The Bandai VF19 Advance comes with support arms for the Super Packs or the Fast Packs, or the Advance Pack on the wings. They give you little bases so that you can then use those arms separately. But obviously that has a very large visual impact, so by using the Yetistand, you're able to incorporate those support arms, if you so choose, without really marring the presentation. When I was invited to review the Yetistand, I was honestly quite a bit skeptical. As far as my toys go, I like them to be perfect transformation because I don't want to go find extra parts every time I decide to change the mode of a toy on a whim. And with display stands, I don't want to have to go find extra parts every time I want to change a display. So that was kind of a big hurdle. Then you go on the Yetistand website and you see the plethora of options available and different adapters, and that can be a little bit intimidating and potentially expensive. And you have to assemble and possibly do some sanding. So there was some big hurdles to overcome. But instantly, when I started using the display stand, I put my Koenig Monster on there and I put my Robot Spirit toys surrounding it. that was really cool, and that's not something I've been able to do with other display stands. And then when I started using the accessories, it became it accentuates your own creativity. It actually became a lot of fun to come up with different display options, and actually made the other toys I own more fun because I was getting more out of them. So ultimately, I think the Yetistand easily clears sort of the ease of entrance and ends up being something that you will enjoy probably for a very long time, setting up all sorts of new displays and just letting your creativity run free. So I highly recommend the Yetistand. I think you should go get yourself one.